Jai Gajanan, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, Herambaya Ekadantine, Swanandavasine Tubhyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha. So Gajasura has come to the battlefield. There is a war between the Devas and Daityas. When he found that the Devas were fighting very hard, Gajasura decided that he will come onto the battlefield to take on the Devas. So the Daityas, there were many casualties on both sides. There was each of them fought according to their own valor and according to their capacity. So one lot of devas, the Daityas had fallen injured, incapacitated, some were collapsed. So another fresh lot of Daityas were sent by this Gajasura. But even that reserve army was also insufficient because the Indras and Devas were fighting so hard because they had Ganesha on their side. But still, when the fresh lot of Asuras came, they were fighting, they were with renewed this energy. And so there was a fierce battle, and both sides there were injuries, and all of them were flying here and there. Now, Gajasura finally, he was really very angry. He said that now he has to really take charge of the situation. But when he was firmly deciding to fight, like the final battle, the Devas and the Munis and others, they prayed to Gajanana. They said, Gajanana, now see, Gajasura is now has come. He has come with a renewed vigor and he is determined to fight us and we will be thrashed. So please come now at least and save us. So when they prayed to Gajanana, he came. Now he assumed a human form. Gajanana, he was the son of Parashar and Vatsala. But he had all the trunk of an elephant and all. But he assumed the form of a Brahmin and he came in front of Gajasura with Ankusha, all these weapons. Pasha, Ankusha, the Parashu, those, that is axe, the goad, the spear, everything with, and the noose. He came with all of those weapons, riding, embodied as a human. When Gajasura saw him, he said, "Oh Brahmin, why are you coming to fight? Your work is in the forest to do yajna karmas and yagas and doing chanting of stotras and Vedas. Why are you coming for war? So how can you wage a war against me and expect to survive?" See the arrogance. So when you will definitely face death. So don't attempt. Also, you please go back. I'm sparing you. You please go back. So you seem to have come with a childish enthusiasm. Gajasura, it was really insulting for for Gajanana, right? So Shambhu got angry. Shiva got angry and he said, he admonished Mahadev, this Daitya. He saying, "Do you know whom you're talking to? He is not as whom you consider as an ordinary Brahmin. He is actually Lord Ganesha, whom we all worship, and he's revered by all the yogis across the world. He has incarnated as the son of Parashar as a result of a boon granted to Parashar Muni because of his penance. You are inviting death at his hands. Therefore, O leader of the Daityas, leave aside your enmity and better surrender to Ganesha. Otherwise, you'll lose everything and you'll definitely die. And if you surrender, at least you'll get a chance to live in Patal Loka, and you will be left alone. Your life will be at peace. Your life will be spared." Gajasura was furious. He hit Shambhu with his mace, gada. That gada, he hit him with a mace. Shambhu fell down unconscious. With weapons and astras, he started lashing around indiscriminately here and there, killing many of the devas who were standing around. Now Ganesha, he was looking at all this destruction caused by this Daitya. So he took his parashu and he hurled that parashu at the Daitya army. Means he didn't directly hit Gajasura. Ganesha, he took the parashu and chanted the mantras and he hurled it at the Daityas. That parashu was so effective, it went on lashing everybody and it just putting them down. They were all beheaded from there. And when Gajasura saw this, he was amazed. He said, "Oh my God, this parashu something. What I underestimated this Brahmin. This parashu seems to be stronger." So he when so he is suddenly stood dumb, like he just stood stunned. He didn't do anything. Then at that time, Ganesha, what he did, he assumed his Virat form. He assumed the Swananda form, full, huge, gigantic form of light with the trunk of an elephant, all kinds of ornaments, riding on the Mushaka and like the Gajavaktra, the elephant, full of effulgence and light. When he saw this yogic form, this Gajasura tried to grab him, but he couldn't touch. He couldn't reach out. Also, he was not able to grab him at all. He couldn't touch. He was astounded. He was wondering, what is this substance? This kind of huge figure in front of me. So this is incredible, he says. So then if this is the person I've got to confront now, he'll definitely kill me. So so better what I have gained, my ashram, my kingdom, my lineage, family, all this is the punya that I have done, that I am able to even have seen this form of this Ganesha. So many yogis, Sutta and others, munis, they meditate and do penance for thousands of years and then they get the darshan. So easily I got his darshan. So better to surrender. So he with these thoughts, Gajasura bowed his head to Gananatha and prayed. And he said, he humbly said, "O Brahma, O Lord of Brahmas, O Gananayaka, um, I'm your humble servant. As a boon, you give me death. So he said, you please kill me. I want to die at your hands." So after this darshan of yours, my mind has become so stunned, means so peaceful. Means not be it will not go towards any pleasure. It has means it has become it has lost all the desire for any kind of pleasure. So now I will not be able to enjoy anything again. So better give me death. So at least I will be united with the divine and I will be attain Brahma Bhuyatva. So Ganesha immediately he killed him, and the Daitya fell down. The Ganesha then all of the Devas, Munis rejoiced seeing the dead body of that Daitya from whom they were suffering all these years. So many years he had captured the Swargaloka, all of that, and so now he was found dead just in front of Ganesha. So Ganesha has then assumed a milder form. He shed that Virata form. He came back to his normal form, and the Devas and Rishis were very happy. They sang and danced in ecstasy, and they sang a prayer, stotra in his praise. So we'll go through that stotra. नमस्ते गजवक्त्राय गजाननस्वरूपिणे पराशरसुतायैव वत्सलासूनवे नमः व्यासभ्रात्रे शुकस्यैव पितृव्याय नमो नमः अनादिगणनाथाय स्वानन्दवासिने नमः रजसा सृष्टिकर्त्रे ते सत्वतः पालकाय च तमसा सर्वसंहर्त्रे गणेशाय नमो नमः प्रकृते पुरुषस्यापि रूपिणे परमात्मने बोधाकाराय वै तुभ्यं केवलाय नमो नमः स्वसंवेद्याय देवाय योगाय गणपाय च शान्तिरूपाय तुभ्यं वै नमस्ते ब्रह्म नायक विनायकाय च वीराय गजदैत्यस्य शत्रवे मुनिमानसनिष्ठाय मुनीनां पालकाय च देवरक्षाकरायैव विघ्नेशाय नमो नमः वक्रतुण्डाय धीराय च एकदन्ताय ते नमः त्वयायम् अयं निहतो दैत्यो गजनामा महाबल ब्रह्माण्डे मृत्युसंहीनो महाश्चर्यं कृतं विभो हते दैत्ये धुनां कृत्स्नं जगत सन्तोषमेष्यति स्वाहा स्वधा युतं पूर्णं स्वधर्मस्तं भविष्यति. So after extolling the praise, they offered Swaha, Swadha, all offerings they made to Gananatha, did perform his puja, did Namaskar, Sashtang Namaskar, and stood aside and stood reverentially before Ganesha. And as Gajasura had instructed, they held their ears with the hands and bowed down and touched the feet of Ganesha. So it was since then that this practice of this particular way of doing namaskar to Ganapati, Ganesha came into existence. That was the practice where you catch the opposite ears with the hands and do namaskar to Ganesha. After that, Ganesha disappeared. He blessed them with everything, all prosperity, and wishing them fulfillment of all their desires. And Ganesha disappeared. The Munis also returned to their homes. Devas returned to the Swargaloka. They all established the idol of Ganesha, and even Parashar Muni and Vatsala, they also installed an idol of Ganesha in their palace, and they started worshipping him every day, doing puja and doing Manasa puja as well. So, in this way, this is the story of how Gajasura was assassinated by Ganesha himself, and because of a boon given to Gajasura by Shambhu, nobody else could kill except Ganesha. Now, Parashar, Vatsala, they were performing the puja of Ganesha, and they were carrying on their life normally. After some time, Vishnu was born in their house to Parashar Muni as Vedavyasa, as Vyasa. Vyasa incarnated in their house as in the house of Parashar, and he now when Vishnu incarnated in their house, Parashar Muni, the Devas also prayed that now the Devas prayed to Mahavishnu, that is as Vyasa, that now you should recompile the Vedas. This Gajasura and all these asuras have destroyed the Vedas. They destroyed the Yajna karmas, and nobody were able to perform Yajna karma. So we need to again connect all these Vedas together, reclassify, organize them properly, and compile them. So they requested Vishnu, that is Vyasa. Now, when Devas requested Vyasa, he felt a little arrogant, a little pride entered his mind. Vyasa, okay, oh my God, so I'm given this charge of writing these Vedas, so which nobody else could do. So when he got this pride, suddenly all the knowledge disappeared. All the knowledge that he had went away. He just couldn't remember anything, and he was not able to proceed with this task at all. So then what he did, he didn't know what to do. So he went to Brahmadeva. He went to Brahmadeva and told, see, all the gods have told me to reorganize and make these, rewrite these Vedas, compose them, but I have forgotten all of them. My mind is blank. I can't remember anything. So then Brahmadeva said, first Brahmadeva then instructed Vyasa into Ganesh Purana. He gave the Ganesh Purana, which is actually the 18 Puranas, 18 Puranas. There is Ganesh Purana. Mudgal Purana is not there. It is Ganesh Purana because that Ganesh Purana was instructed by Brahmadeva to Vyasa. Vyasa only knows Ganesh Purana. So Vyasa, when he got the knowledge of Ganesh Puran, he understood, he meditated, he realized, he got initiated by Brahmadeva, and he got back all the knowledge. So thereafter, he compiled all the Vedas, classified them into various sections so that we can, now what is available to us is as it was organized, composed, and classified by Veda Vyasa. Now here, I would like to mention that Veda Vyasa, he included the Ganesh Puran in the among the Purans. Then where did the Mudgal Puran, he did not, he had forgotten. So that is why Mudgalacharya, he took birth in Treta Yuga. Mudgalacharya was a contemporary. He had instructed the Vyasa. Now he again, Mudgalacharya only incarnated in Kali Yuga as Ganesh Yogindra Maharaj, and as Ganesh Yogindra Maharaj, when Mudgalacharya took birth here on in actually he was born in Gujarat, in a place in Gujarat, and his parents were devotees of Ganesha. So they had been meditating on Ganesha, and to them, this Mudgalacharya was born. And they came to Morgaon and did penance, and that is how Mudgalacharya, he stayed back in Morgaon, and he also did penance. And one Brahmin, that is Dundi Maharaj, he came every Chaturthi. Every Chaturthi he used to come, and he used to bring one lot of the Mudgal Puran. And that next Chaturthi he used to take this lot back and bring a fresh lot of Mudgal Puran. Next Chaturthi. So between one Chaturthi and the next Chaturthi, Yogindra Maharaj, that is Ganesh Yogindra Maharaj, used to copy it down. And like this, the whole of the Mudgal Puran was brought by Ganesha himself as a Brahmin, Dundi Maharaj. This Dundi Maharaj, if you remember, he was sent in to when Divodas was there. Ganesha came as this astrologer, Dundi astrologer, that was the astrologer who had come and created all the confusion in the mind. In when Shiva was to be removed from Kashi and then restored back to Kashi. So the same Dundi, as a Dundi Brahmin, he came and gave back the Mudgal Puran. And that is how this, then afterwards, Ganesh Yogindra Maharaj wrote a commentary in Sanskrit on this Mudgal Puran, and which is this Puran that we are all reading, which has been translated by me along with the trustees of Mudgal Puran Trust, and it has been published. So this is how this Mudgal Puran became available. Otherwise, it was not a part of the 18 Puranas. Now here, when we talk about how Veda Vyasa classified, before what is written in this, here also how Veda Vyasa classified the various Vedas into Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, who was given what to everybody. I would suggest you to read one book called A Brief History of Vedas by K. Suresh. K. Suresh ji is no more. He just passed away a couple of years ago. And he was a Ganapati. He has written on the classification of Vedas right from all his students. It's a very elaborate book. If time permits, we may, after completing Mudgal Puran, we will go through this text the names of all the students of Veda Vyasa who were involved in the classification of Vedas, how many branches of Vedas are there, all that in detail it has been given. They are known as shakas. That there are so many shakas in Rig Veda, so many shakas in Yajur Veda, so many shakas in Atharva Veda, and all this shakas were like students. These students who taught that portion of the that Vedas to their students, that became a branch. Shaka means branch. So there are so many shakas of each of these Vedas. So that is why our Vedic literature, it is not confined to one book. It has been interpreted and reinterpreted by several scholars and learned pundits, and who have shared it freely with their students. And that is by teaching and learning by word of mouth. Now everything is there as a books. It is available as books, but earlier it was just by hearing Shruti and Smruti. Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. So when Adi Shankaracharya established these mutts, it was revived. And and all this Veda Vyasas reorganization classification came to be of great use. Now it is we will go into greater details of what is mentioned in this chapter about the greatness of Veda Vyasa, the greatness of Veda Vyasa, of how he was able to accomplish such a mammoth task of classification of Vedas and all the Upanishads, Itihasas, Mimamsas, and everything which we have as a treasure, which is the treasure house of India, the glory of India. We will look into the details in another class on Monday. Let us meditate for the next half hour. Relax into your body. See that your feet are firmly planted on the floor. Your spine erect. Eyes gently closed. Hands in your lap, palm facing upwards. Put all the thoughts to one side and just focus on your breathing. Take a nice deep breath. Feel your breath all the way into you as it enters the lungs. The diaphragm is pushed downwards. Stomach comes out. And as you exhale, stomach goes in as the diaphragm is pushed upwards. And the lungs release the air which you exhale through the nostrils. Exhale deeply and slowly to the count of 10. Observe your breath. Any thought comes, bring your attention back to your breathing. We often hold on to the thoughts with which we are familiar. We are habituated to a way of thinking, a way of acting, a way of functioning in this world. We fear any change. We want to feel comfortable, and that comfort we find in familiarity. Being familiar with things for so long, we don't want to let go of it. It's the fear of the unknown. What next? But remember, familiarity breeds contempt. Familiarity, when it has exceeded its time limits, its duration of engaging in that curiosity, there is no more curiosity or an eagerness to know, to learn, to grow. So there is stagnation. We all want new things, new experiences, new learnings, a growth. When it reaches a ceiling limit, we look beyond. So that is a certain threshold. So familiarity doesn't engage us anymore. In terms of happiness, joy, growth, evolution. Hence, there is stagnation. That is why in stagnant waters, Stagnant waters become filthy. They stink. That's why it breeds contempt. So, by logic, familiarity breeds contempt. It's the transition we all seek. There is a point of transition in everything, be it an individual, a community, a society, a civilization itself. We often find abandoned houses, abandoned villages, abandoned forest areas. The living creatures there have moved on. We all know of stories of Kandahar, a deserted place which breeds nothing but negativity, negative forces, negative elements, fear. Finally, it's abandoned. So, also, when we are in touch with our lives, in our day to day lives, we come across situations, circumstances where we feel stuck. Nothing seems to go forward. So we need to see options and change gears. Take the road less traveled by, explore. That's why we often engage in adventures once in a while during our dreary work of months together. We need a freshness. That freshness is normal. That change is normal. Change is the law. Otherwise, circumstances will force us to change. But with our awareness, our attention, our vigilance to what is happening around us, we can consciously change to adapt to the new circumstances. rather than being pushed into it or ushered into it. Imagine being ejected out of an aeroplane in an emergency. That's why we are prepared for it well in advance by the crew in case of emergencies. But we must always be accepting of change for a smoother ride. Resistance creates barriers. There may be a rock in midstream resisting the flow of water. The water finds its way on the sides, leaving the rock as it is. Eventually, the rock gets eroded. But anything that flows with the river reaches its destination. We all need to be in the flow of life. Right from birth to death is a flow. Our lives are never constant. Whether we like it or not, we grow, physically at least. Adapting, learning, adjusting to circumstances facilitates the growth, facilitates the evolution of a human being. If today the computer programs which we were using to assist us in our work is now beginning to teach us, it is because the designing has been made into a learning system. The programs of AI is fundamentally based on the law of the method of learning, and it has learned so fast. If we have to keep pace with that, We have to grow at a stronger pace. Otherwise, our own creation will rule us. That is why we always have checks and balances. Every action is a reaction, equal and opposite in direction. Everything is in momentum. And once a thing picks up momentum, it continues in that momentum for some time before it can halt. These essential laws we must keep in mind while interacting with the world outside. Let's not forget what we have learned. The laws don't change. Circumstances change, but the laws don't. Let us respect the laws and function within its limitations. That engages us within healthy boundaries. Mutual respect, concern for others, and peaceful coexistence. We often say we need not reinvent the wheel, but we forget the way that wheel was formed. Let us not forget that wheel. The Kala Chakra. Delve deep into the significance of these concepts. They're not merely concepts, they are the eternal laws, the cosmic laws. Feel your breath. Observe your breath as your body breathes in and out. Unknown as we engage in these thoughts. This is divine contemplation. Feel that stillness within. The silence of that stillness. Slowly bring your attention to your breathing. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the presence of your body seated wherever you are. Feel your presence in your body, grounded. Slowly wriggle your fingers and your toes. If you'd like to remain for a few more moments in the silence, you can remain. Rub your hands together. Up the palms and place it on the eyes. Gently rub your eyes. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. If you have any questions, you can ask.
No questions today. There's that we have a puja in our house, Satyanaran
You're
Puja.
Satyanarayan Puja, you're in the terrace.
No, no, I'm not in the terrace. I have put that background. One day I'd click the photograph of
You have
the
parrots, huh? Three
parrots. Yeah,
parrots.
yeah. Some 4, 5. They come every evening. They come exactly 5, 6 o'clock here, opposite
Is
and
it?
this opposite. Yeah, in that A3 building opposite on eighth floor. They come
Acha.
there. Usually that time they come. Otherwise they are making noise all over every in the daytime. But that time they come here for few
Hmm.
minutes and they go away. There are 4, 5
Okay.
parrots. They come here. Even in the mornings when I sit near the window, this is near that
Mm.
master bedroom window. You get
Mm.
those tweeter birds, the small birds.
Yeah,
Today,
this
today was 5, 6 were there in my this one just beside me. If I move my head, they go away. Otherwise, you can just
you
see
can
them.
keep some kind of a a plank or a shelf like thing where you can put some grains or some nuts and some things like that which they can eat. Then they'll
Yeah, I
keep
was
coming.
planning for that, but these doves come and they make a mess. So I
Yeah,
was
that
avoiding.
does.
They already spoiled the kitchen side.
Yeah.
So I have to go and bring the pujari today. By 9:30.
Okay. Mm.
So
Today
usually I
no
do
oil.
this in this year, every year once I do it during Ganpati only.
Okay.
So whenever they are available, though that day I do, and then I plan
Mm.
after that Visarjan next day or
Oh.
something.
Mm. So you have Ganpati for 3 days,
5 days, usually
5 days.
3 days, but 5 days. But you don't get pujari. They are very busy.
Yeah.
Full. Yeah. Somehow I got one guy over here.
Mm. Mm.
I only Vadgaon, and then maybe
Mm.
tomorrow we will do Visarjan morning.
Mm. So no questions. No questions, no doubts.
No doubt. No questions.
Very good.
Only
So,
one thing I like today was the part where when you said that the rock stands but the water finds its path. Moving is the way of life. So that was a good learning for me. And slowly the rock also gets eroded.
yes,
So that brings some confidence that yes, you have to make your path and go ahead.
yes.
And yeah,
Wonderful. So that's your takeaway.
yeah, today.
Okay. So see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend.